This is Lewis Hart for Boxing Social in association with Empire Fight Store. Delighted to be joined with the savage Alen Babic here in London. Touchdown fight week. Johnny Fisher is the man in front of you, just about sort of a mile or so away from the Copperbox here. I suppose how you feeling? How you feeling going into this one?
Oh, brother, I feel amazing. I really feel like everything, this like scenario was made for the savage. So I don't think it's his neighborhood or fans or anything. I really feel like it's for me. So that's the best feeling I have.
I suppose second time main eventing now, and I suppose main eventing in the UK as well. For a massive fight like this, that this is one that appeals to a lot of boxing fans. It must feel nice that it's got that, I suppose, that added special connotation with it, where all eyes are on yourself and Johnny, I guess.
It's amazing, and it came at the perfect timing. Like I said before, if he caught me maybe half a year before, it would be terrible for me,
Yeah.
But now it's very going to be terrible for him, really. So I think it's really great stuff, but wrong timing.
You said that there about it, if it was a year and a half ago, it would have been different and would have been worse for yourself. So I know we spoke about that Rosansky fight in a few times, but I suppose since then, and it's been in a year since then, do you feel like maybe the past year or so, or maybe even 2024 with yourself boxing, it's really like you've almost woke up in a way, and it's sort of woken up a different savage in yourself?
Yeah, of course, I evolved, because if you don't evolve in this game, you're gonna die. You're gonna just being put aside, so I just didn't allow myself to be put aside. I kept going to it, kept training every day like I'm paid to it, and I wasn't. I was left with no money and everything, and I still train every day, going for my craft, even though nobody saw me. So that's a very important thing and very hard thing to go through.
You mentioned there about all the training and that, I suppose, training in Ireland now. What has that been like for you, I suppose, in sort of away from the UK, I guess?
Well, it was terrible. I think when I was training in those days, it was just horrendous. And that days really put the Croatia out of the map for training, because I couldn't really train. And it's such a bad energy balled up there and everything. So me moving to Ireland to train was the best move I ever done in my life, because I really cleansed myself of all the wrong people, and literally all of the people, wrong and good, so I just put myself aside and just trained. So the Ireland was a blessing for a savage.
You spoke there about almost like it being sort of you not feeling like you're on away turf and things being made for the savage. You've been common to the bright lights, and for someone like Johnny, with it being his first time main eventing and that, do you feel like the pressure could be too much for him, where it's something that you're more used to?
Well, I don't feel like that's a fact, because I was where he is now. I was there like 12 years ago, so yeah. I know. And I knocked out my first heavyweight 13 years ago. He was just, like 10 years old. How old is he? Yeah. So I've been in this game really long time, and I've seen everything. And Johnny is the kind of guy I was at the beginning. I want everything, but when you find yourself in the boxing ring with somebody who knows better the situation, you just realize that there's no way out. Nobody's gonna help you. None of those fans is gonna save him. No father's gonna save him. Nobody. He's gonna feel really alone. And if you didn't feel alone in the ring, it's very frightening. It's very frightening.
And I suppose for yourself, when you may have had that experience before, of you said you might have felt alone in the ring, and you had them tough times in the ring, how much do you feel like that benefited you for tough times like Saturday night, where you're facing a guy who, as you say, hasn't faced that?
I don't know about benefits. I think it was necessary, because all the great fighters were there. All the greats had their downs, and I had a pretty big down. So I think that was necessary to see. Pain is there to remind us if we really want it, So if you really want this life, it's a very hard life, very thorough, very, how can I explain it? Very, very raw, So you need to be put in those kind of situations, because then if you're a boxer or you're just a comedian, literally like that.
Just a few hours ago, you had the first face-off with Johnny, getting in his face, getting on head-to-head. Did you sense anything there, I guess, or was it nice to sort of see him face-to-face for the second time, but the first time on fight week?
It was nice for sure. I don't care about him till after the fight, but I just told him he made a mistake. He knows I'm right. He was trying to be a tough guy, but I saw his breathing was right, and he was breathing heavy and stuff. So. But because I know, because I was there, I had those years, and I was boxing at those years. But I was boxing at local amateur shows, and it was too much almost for me. And I'm a hard guy, so I can't imagine what kind of pressure is on his back. I can't really imagine, and I think really all the pressure is on him. All the pressure is on him, and I know he will not be able to do in the ring as he desires, or he hits those journeymans and stuff. No, bro. That's just not how this game goes. Boxing will be the judge of us.
I think, I would say a lot of people in this fight would almost have you as an underdog. Do you find that a bit disrespectful for the things that you've done so far?
No, I put myself in their stance, so they hear me talking about it, and they absorb the energy, because I want to be the underdog, and I am the underdog. I have zero problem being the underdog. With me being the underdog, I come to fight for the world title. So that's the only way I know how to go back fighting to world title. So I don't want to be favorite. Fuck the favorites. I'm done.
I was going to say, with that being said, you talked about sort of it not feeling like an away fight. But obviously, Johnny is going to have a lot of support. I think he sold about 4,000 or 5,000 tickets. So that's something, as you say, you enjoy being an underdog. So all that comes with it is something that excites you.
Yeah, it's perfect. But I know there's going to be a lot of Savage Army hidden beneath it, So I'm just happy for it, and I'm happy for Johnny, because he will need all the help he can get. But when the first ring bells, it's going to be hell. It's going to be alone. It's going to be so alone, because I was there. I was alone. I had the crowds and everything, and it's a very lonely place. I don't care who you are, it will break you. So when everything that hits Johnny, especially with me on the other hand, I think it's going to be too much. I know it's going to be too much, because it was too much even for me.
You mentioned earlier about been fighting for 12 or 30 years, for a long time. I saw on your Instagram a few days ago, you posted an Instagram story of you knocking someone out about 13 or so years ago. It's so good to, I suppose, look back on the memories and look at now of everything that you've achieved so far.
It's crazy. I'm terribly proud, because I just stayed in there. One of my coaches told me the winner is going to be the guy who stays in the boxing. Because I've done a lot. But if I go out to boxing now, it's nothing. Like in 1 year, I'm going to be broke. And what then? So the victory is only for those guys who stays in boxing, and this is the toughest part. The toughest part is going to be for Johnny to come back from this loss, which he's going to experience. The toughest part, and he will tell you himself.
Just a final one from myself. How does it end on Saturday night against Johnny Fisher?
It's going to be hell. It's going to be hell. I'm gonna create a fiery hell for him. I'm not gonna create a boxing fight. I have no interest in boxing match. I just have interest in. I'm gonna attack his spine. I wanna. See Serge coming in. I wanna do terrible things, and I wanna make him feel very uncomfortable. And I want him to say, "What the fuck is this?" And it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy, bro. Just don't miss it.
Absolutely. Alen, thank you for taking time to speak to me. Really good to catch up with you. All the best on Saturday, mate. Top man. Thank you. Cheers, mate.